this week. And so far, they're coming with a plane full of medallists. After just 2 days, they've already won 32 medals. To speak more about this is ASA President Moloi. A very good evening and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. Does this exceed your expectations after just 2 days of competition?
Yes, as you know very well that we brought a big team here from South Africa. We are very excited as South Africans because now these youngsters have did very well. For now, I can tell you that up to so far, we've got plus minus 18 gold medals, 7 silver, and 7 bronze. So even today, we are still going on. The game is still going on as from today till tomorrow. The last day is tomorrow. But we'll see as time goes on. By tomorrow, we'll get the total number of medals. But for now, the spirit is very high.
Our under-20s have performed excellently, our junior athletes. We saw at the World Championships last year that they won 3 golds, 9 in total, and they ended 6th on the table. What is behind this success, especially of these junior structures of the under-20s and the under-18s, James?
Yeah, we spoke to the coaches before, and then we spoke to the colleges and universities to say, please, if you can assist us in terms of maybe trying to bring more athletes from your side and do some strong coaches. So now we are happy because maybe they listen to us, especially the coaches. They said, no, we will help where we can. But now, at the end of the day, we can see the fruits of the coaches that they have done. So some of the coaches are here today helping, since from day one, helping the athletes, and even their parents are here. It helps, and then you bring them the motivation. The athletes are motivated. Even the management, we are here to support them. And then we spoke to them before even the events and all that, before on the 28th. I know that the spirit is very high, and then they promised that they did very well. And yes, indeed, they've done their best.
What are the times like, James?
The time.
Yeah, what are the times and the performances actually like? Because this year there's a World Championships, it's a senior championships, but the qualifying standards are incredibly high. What are the standards and the kinds of distances and times that the athletes at these African championships are achieving?
The standards are very high. As you know very well that one of the athletes broke the South African record under 18. So you can imagine that they're doing very well. Even in the 200 meters, they ran very well and they did time. So now for them, they are still very young, but they have pushed very hard to run the fast times. They have already run the fast times. Even the javelin and short puts, they did very well, but I didn't even check the time, but the times is very high. Everybody's doing his best, or everybody's doing his level best to reach the top. But we are very excited in terms of the times and the performance of the team.
James, the junior athletes have been traveling quite a bit, certainly over the last couple of years, which I think also has attributed to the kind of success that we're now seeing. Have you guys put more funding behind these junior athletes?
That's correct. As you know very well that before we normally send the small team, but this year as Athletics South Africa, we have just put the money aside and said, let's just put the big team so that we can give everybody the opportunity to qualify for whatever the event that they qualified. But yes, indeed, they proved us wrong, and they did their best to satisfy us. So we are very excited to say the money that we put for this team is not the waste. We didn't waste money. It's money for a good cause. And even next time when it goes on, and then we urge the corporate company if they can assist, especially these youngsters that are still coming, because we do have the Olympics that are still coming for next year. And I so wish that most of these athletes that are running today can fill the gap for next year and qualify for this and Olympic for next year, especially the under-20s.
So do our track and field athletes, these under-20s and under-18s, do they have to pay any of their own money to represent the country? I know it's something that we've seen with us swimmers, for example.
No, nothing at all. It's Athletics South Africa, we put everything together. We paid all the expenses for them, so they didn't pay any cent for them. And they didn't pay even a single cent. So that's why from our side we have put, like I said, we have put a big team for the mere fact that we do have the money to pay for these kids. And then we're still going to continue with that, especially those kids that are running very well and they qualify to represent South Africa. We will do our level best to get more money and to bring more team. We are the biggest team that we have brought here in Zambia. So we'll still continue with that to fund that team, even if we don't have a sponsor, but from our side, we'll get money somewhere to try to assist where we can. But I think up to so far, we have used Athletics South Africa's money to pay for these kids.
James, we've just had a really successful track and field season here in South Africa. There was the ASA Grand Prix Series. We had the national championships. However, the qualifying times have been hard to come by for South African athletes. Are you not a little bit concerned with the World Championships taking place later this year that actually South Africa may not have a very big team to send?
Yeah, for the standard, as you know very well, that is not the first time whereby we have to put a high standard. But this time it's tough for our athletes, but we are not worried about that because now don't forget we still have diamond leagues, we still have a lot of diamond leagues, we still have a lot of races in Europe. So most of these kids or these athletes have promised that they will qualify. Most of them they are going to Europe to qualify. So we don't have a problem at all because the closing date for the qualifying time is the end of July. So for till then, up to so far we've got about plus minus 14 athletes that have already qualified. But maybe towards the end of July, we will have a lot of athletes that have already qualified.
Do you foresee some of these youngsters partaking in this African Championships where you are now in Zambia actually making the senior team?
Maybe some of them, because some of them they've run the qualifying. I think one or two have run the qualifying times. But we saw each, but they are still very young at the present moment. We don't have worried about them, but we are only worried about the seniors that they must do very well and qualify so that we can pick up the big team for the seniors going to Budapest. But now a lot of these athletes are eager. They promise that they will do very well and they will qualify in time before the closing date of the 30th of July. So we are relaxed and we know that they will do very well because everybody wants to be in Budapest, and then we are positive that they will qualify.
James, there's been a lot of changes around the rules relating to athletes with DSD. How is Athletics South Africa supporting Caster Semenya at the moment?
At the present moment, I'm not going to say much about that because you know very well that her case is somewhere in Europe, so I'm not going to comment too much. But from our side, as Athletics South Africa, she's got our support. We will always support her if she needs our support. But we will try to support where we can, and then we'll phone her, we'll talk to her, and then I met with her in the coach's room, and then we spoke, and then we are there to support her every time where she needs our help as Athletics South Africa. But the case is still continuing in Europe. We'll wait for the dates where they will tell us about the dates, and we'll support where we can as Athletics South Africa.
Has Athletics South Africa made any representations to the world body about their rules on DSD athletes?
I think maybe that one is with our lawyers. I'm not going to comment about that one. Our lawyers will continue and tell us and update us about that. So up to so far, I'm not going to say much because the lawyers are dealing with that matter.
James Moloi is Athletics South Africa President in Zambia with a team that is doing exceptionally well